Welcome to the following presentation of the World Football League on the Replay Sports Channel. Good evening, everyone, and to our neighbors to the north of the border, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. It's early October here, 2022. WFL week number 5 concludes with a Metropolitan Division contest between the London Knights and the Toronto Hitmen. Hi, I'm Glenn Walker in the broadcast booth on the 50-yard line of BMO Field here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where the defending league champions, the Hitmen, at 2-2, are facing the Knights at 1-3. Teams are warming up, getting ready to head on down to the field. Tell you a little bit about how they got there. London is struggling this year. Russell Wilson leaves via free agency, and Coach Sean Payton is definitely in the middle of a rebuild. They've struggled, losing last week at Philadelphia 34-17. Defense, both sides of the ball are struggling. Defense have only managed 3 sacks through the first 4 games, and the offense is dead last. They are at 20th, managing just 271 yards a game. Toronto Hitmen on the other side, they're back at 500. They defeated the Detroit Wheels 27-20 at Ford Field, and they lead this series 21-17, having won both meetings last season. We've just had the coin toss. The Hitmen have won the toss. They've elected to receive, so we're going to take you on down to the field. 55 degrees, clear, very little wind here on Canadian Thanksgiving Day. For those of you celebrating up north, we wish you a wonderful holiday. Duvernay is the deep man for the Hitmen. He's prepared to return the kick. And we're underway. Monday Night Football from Toronto, north of the border. And the kickoff travels through the end zone for a touchback. Justin Herbert will lead out the Toronto Hitmen offense as we get underway. Herbert, Rookie of the Year last year, Pantheon Bowl MVP. Amazing season he had last year. He'll be backed up by Melvin Gordon at running back. H-back will be Eric Tomlinson. The wide receivers, DJ Moore and Alex Erickson. The tight end will be Dawson Knox. At left tackle, Ryan Ramczyk. Left guard, Quentin Spain. At center, Mitch Morse. At right guard, Dalton Risner. And the rookie at right tackle, Spencer Brown. Third pick by the Hitmen from Northern Iowa. Hitmen are in their black uniforms, black jerseys, black pants, blue trim, black helmets, white numerals, and they're going to be going right to left across your screen. 1st and 10 from the Toronto 25, just getting underway here. Herbert calling the plays under center. Play action. Back to pass. Looking to go, but he's in trouble. He's going to take off with it. Finally brought down by Phillips at the 27. Let's go ahead and set up that London defense for you. Again, they are having their struggles this year. They use a 4-3 defense. Max Crosby will be at left defensive end. Right defensive end will be Joey Bosa. The interior lineman will be Leonard Williams and Dalvin Tomlinson. Middle linebacker will be Devondre Campbell, and he will be surrounded by Darius Leonard and the as aforementioned Phillips. He was their number 1 draft pick from the University of Miami. Cornerbacks, Anthony Brown, Patrick Peterson, the veteran cornerback, and the safeties will be Jamal Adams and Von Bell. Brings up 2nd and 8, just underway here in Toronto. I formation behind Herbert. Pitches right to Gordon. Gordon looking for a hole. Gets past the line of scrimmage. Finally hit by Leonard after a gain of 1. Brings up 3rd and 7. Toronto, coached by Ryan Dinwiddie. In his 2nd season, overall record 16-5. Took them all the way to the Pantheon Bowl last year. Dinwiddie played football at Boise State, went undrafted, and spent some time in various leagues, the WFL, the NFL, NFL Europe, and also up here in Canada, where he played for Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, and he was a member of the 2018 Grey Cup team. He was the quarterback's coach in 2018. 3rd and 7. Toronto needs to get to their 35 for a first down. Empty backfield behind Herbert. Herbert will move into the pistol formation. Man in motion. Herbert gets the snap. Plenty of time. Throws to Moore. He's got the first down. Tackled by Peterson at about the 38. In that win at Detroit last week, Herbert, 24 of 38, 304 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Ball will be spotted at the Toronto 38, 1st and 10. Toronto shifts to a 3 wide receiver set now. Booker is the lone running back. Herbert still in the pistol. Play action. Back to pass. Fires over the middle. Completes to Moore near midfield. Peterson again on the tackle. And we do have an injured player on the field, and that is the rookie linebacker, Jalen Phillips. He's going to head to the sidelines and get some medical attention there. He will be replaced by Schobert, number 93. Ball's at midfield, 1st and 10 for Toronto. Just underway here from BMO Field. I formation now behind Herbert. Gordon is the deep back. Pitch right again. They're trying to get some action going on that right side, but he is caught by Crosby in the backfield. He's going to lose several. Great play there by the defensive end, Max Crosby. Ball goes back into Toronto territory at their 47, brings up 2nd and 13. Toronto comes in tonight with the 13th overall offense, 11th in the running game, and 13th in the passing category. Three wide receivers set now for Toronto. Herbert from the gun, back to pass, has time, completes it to Moore. Moore is close to the first down. He is tackled just a yard shy. So 3rd and 1 for Toronto. Ball at the London 41. Toronto looking very impressive on their opening drive. Two tight end set for Toronto on 3rd and 1. Herbert changing the play at the line. He's going to take it himself. Dives into the middle. And he picks up the first down. Brought down by Williams at the London 40. 1st and 10 for the Toronto Hitmen. Coming into today's game, London, defense ranked 12th overall. They are 3rd in the league against the run, 17th against the pass. But as we mentioned, has only racked up 3 sacks so far this season through 4 games. 3 wide receivers set for Toronto. Booker the lone running back. Herbert back to pass in a little bit of trouble. Pocket collapsing. He's going to take a run for it past the 35. Close to the first down. Tackled by Schobert. And he is given the first down. 1st and 10 Toronto. Ball now at the London 29. 10.5 minutes to go. Here in the first quarter, no score between the Knights and the Hitmen. Booker will stay in the game at running back. Toronto shifts to the I formation. Booker gets the handoff. He's going to try to go off tackle right, but he's met at the line. Leonard brings him down. No gain. Brings up 2nd and 10. On the season, Herbert, 93 of 159, 929 yards, 8 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 8 interceptions. He leads the league in interceptions, 58% completion percentage, and a 71.0 quarterback rating. 2nd and 10, just under 10 minutes, 10th play of the drive on this opening possession for Toronto. 3 wide receiver set. Herbert directing traffic at the line. And London saw something they didn't like there, so they used their first timeout. Clock stops with 9:55 to go. No score, but Toronto is threatening. Thank you to all of us joining us on the Replay Sports Channel YouTube channel tonight. Again, please leave your comments, and also feel free to sign up. We've got a lot of great sporting events coming up I'll be telling you about a little bit later, so make sure to stay tuned for that. After the timeout, 2nd and 10, ball at the London 29, 10th play of the drive for Toronto. 2 tight end formation now for Toronto. Gordon will come back in as the running back. Knox and Tomlinson are the tight ends. Back to pass. Looking. Throws underneath to Gordon. He gets it at about the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They're going to give him a 1-yard gain. He's tackled by Schobert. It brings up 3rd and 9. Gordon on the season, 65 carries, 267 yards, 6 touchdowns. Leads the league in rushing touchdowns. Used his pass receiving skills there. 3rd and 9. Toronto needs to get to the London 19 for the first down. They break the huddle. Empty backfield behind Herbert. Man in motion is Moore. Herbert, under pressure, gets rid of the ball in time, but he overthrows Erickson. Had to let that one go. Campbell coming in on the delayed blitz. And Herbert under pressure throws his first incomplete pass of the game. Brings up 4th and 9. And out will come Greg Zuerlein, the veteran, to attempt his 6th field goal of the season. He's 4 of 5 on field goal attempts. This one looks to be from about 45 yards. Well within his range.
Ball start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
But before we can get the playoff, we get our first call by Sean Hockley. And if the last name sounds familiar, yes, he is the son of former referee Ed Hockley. So they're going to back that up 5 yards. And Zuerlein will line up again. Snap, hold, kick. Looks good. 51 yards by Zuerlein. And the Hitmen are on top first. 9:08 left to go here, first quarter. A 12-play, 42-yard drive to start us off. And the Toronto Hitmen lead at 3-0. And in case you're wondering, that field goal attempt by Zerline, that does match his longest of the season. He did make a 51-yarder earlier in the season. Now we're going to get our first look at the London Knights offense. Pringle back to return deep for London. Sure, the kickoff's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. London will start at their own 25. Carson Wentz, former Tampa Bay Bandit quarterback, moved over to London in the offseason. He has had his struggles, and we'll document those as we move along throughout the evening. Miles Gasson is the lone running back. Wide receivers, Randall Cobb, Stephon Diggs, and Byron Pringle. Tight end will be Dalton Schultz. Offensive line, Tyron Smith at left tackle. Andrew Norwell is at left guard. Rodney Hudson at center. Andrus Peat at right guard. And the number 5 selection at right tackle, Larry Borum out of Missouri. First and 10 Knights. Knights are in their away uniforms. White jerseys, silver pants, silver helmets, black numerals. They're moving left to right across your screen. Wentz under center, calling out the play. Wentz back to pass. He's going to throw a screen over to Gaskin. It's complete, but he is hit immediately in the backfield. Smith drills him and a loss of 3. Let's take a look at that Toronto defense. Using the 4-3, Gross Matos and Wormley are the defensive ends. Interior linemen are Guy and Lawrence. Your linebackers. Middle linebacker is Zadarius Smith, who we just heard tackle there. And who's number 44 there? Yeah, Nick Kwiatkowski is the linebacker. And they've moved to a dime package, so your defensive backs are Josh Norman, Adrian Amos, Xavier Howard, the defending Defensive Player of the Year from last year, Kendall Fuller, and Antoine Winfield Jr. Brings up 2nd and 13. Ball at the London 22. Just under 9 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Toronto took their first possession, went down the field, settled for a field goal. London is now in the midst of their first possession. Wentz shifts into the shotgun. Wentz back to pass. Has time. And incomplete. Ball tipped away there by Xavier Howard. Attempted for Cobb. Brings up 3rd and 13. Sean Payton, in his 2nd season with London. He was with Birmingham from 2009 to 2018. His career record, 95 wins, 70 losses. He's at a .576 career win percentage. And in Birmingham, he was a Pantheon Bowl champion back in 2013 and 2015 when he had Aaron Rodgers. 3rd and 13. London needs to get to their 35 for the first down. Empty backfield now behind Wentz. Wentz back to pass. He's going to have to throw short to Cobb. And gains may be 2, pushed out by the rookie defensive back, Patrick Surtain II. And it brings up 4th down. London goes 3 and out in their first possession. Out to punt will be O'Donnell. Leads the league in punting average. That's not something you want to lead the league in. Pat O'Donnell's the punter. Erickson will be back deep to receive. Erickson standing at about his own 39-yard line. O'Donnell gets off a beauty. It's heading toward the far sideline and goes out of bounds at the Toronto 30. We're halfway through the first quarter. Toronto leads it 3-0. The Hitmen will get their 2nd possession here in just a moment. Toronto starts their 2nd possession at their own 30, 7:28 to go here in quarter number 1. Hitmen lead it 3-0. I formation. behind Herbert. Hand off to Gordon. Right side again. 34-yard line. Peterson tackles him at the 35. Gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. Phillips back into the game for London. So whatever the injury issue he was having on that first possession has been taken care of. 2nd and 5. 3 wide receivers set for Toronto. Knox moves into the slot position. Booker in at running back. Herbert from the gun has time over the middle, completes it to Knox at the 45. Tackled immediately by Jamal Adams. Gain of 12 and first down for Toronto. Ball will be marked at the Toronto 47. Booker stays in the game at running back. He'll get the handoff off tackle right, trying to get to midfield. Peterson there on the tackle. He does reach the 50-yard line logo. Gain of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. Gordon back in the game at running back. Hand off to Gordon. They're really going after that right side or the left side of London's defense. He picks up 12 yards, tackled by Peterson, and a gain of 12 yards. 9 carries so far for Toronto, 32 yards on the ground. They're averaging 3.6 yards. Ball's at the London 38. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Toronto driving on their second drive, looking for points. The give to Gordon. You guessed it, right side, 35. Tackled by Leonard at the 32, a gain of 6 yards. Ball will be placed at the London 32, brings up 2nd and 4. Gordon again, penetrating that right side, but I think he's stopped by Crosby at the line of scrimmage. So no gain. Brings up 3rd and 4 for Toronto. Need to get to the London 28 for a first down. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Toronto leads 3-0, threatening to put more on the scoreboard. Empty backfield behind Herbert. Moore, Erickson, Brown, and Beasley are the wide receivers. And Herbert calls a quick timeout. The play clock was running out. Noticed it at the last second. And so he calls time. So both teams down to 2 timeouts. Clock stops at 3:09. Herbert back at the line. Moore's the man in motion. Herbert back to pass, looking deep. And it's incomplete. He was going to Moore, but Peterson, Johnny on the spot there, tips it away. Brings up 4th and 4. And we'll see Greg Zuerlein again for another field goal attempt. And this one's going to be from 49 yards out. Again, hardly no wind here tonight. 55 degrees here on Monday night in Toronto. Snap is good. Hold. Kick is on its way. And it is good. 50-yard completion kick by Greg Zuerlein. 2:58 to go here, quarter number 1, and Toronto leads it 6-0. 85 yards for Toronto so far. -1 for London. Pringle back to return. And this one sails out of the end zone once again. Zerline ate his Wheaties this morning. He is booming the kicks out here tonight. Or had his Thanksgiving dinner probably. Again, Canadian Thanksgiving. It's October the 10th here. Week number 5 concluding. Canada has their Thanksgiving in October, of course. The United States, they have it 4th Thursday in November. Of course, we're going to have games, 3 games on November, in Thanksgiving in November. So continue to watch Replay Sports Channel for that. So second possession for London, an offense that has struggled. They're dead last in total offense, dead last in the run, 16th ranked passing attack. They're struggling on offense. Gaskin, the lone running back. He'll get the handoff, looking for room, and he is met by a bunch of black shirts headed up by Gross Matos. And, oh, there is a severe injury there. Zadarius Smith holding his right knee. That does not look good. They're going to have to bring the cart for Zadarius, and you hate to see that. I think his evening is done. We won't speculate there, but he was injured in the pileup there going after Gaskin, and he was not able to get up. So he's going to be carted away. Meanwhile, loss of the play, 3 yards. Ball moved back to the London 22. Brings up 2nd and 13. Zadarius Smith, a big part of Toronto's Pantheon Bowl championship last season. And he's going to be sent into the locker room for further evaluation. Wentz struggling so far this year. 68 of 122, 635 yards, 56% completion, has only thrown 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. Back to pass. Under pressure. Flag on the play. He'll dump it off.
Number 68, 10-yard penalty.
And holding on Norwell, so move London back 10 more yards to their own 12, brings up 2nd and 23. Our theme about former quarterbacks, we were talking about Ryan Dinwiddie earlier. Sean Payton, also a former quarterback from Eastern Illinois, played quarterback in the Arena League, WFL, NFL. He's also spent some time in the CFL, played for the old Ottawa Rough Riders. Now, Ottawa has a team now known as the Red Blacks, but back in the day when Sean played, they were known as the Rough Riders. So you had Saskatchewan Rough Riders, and you had the Ottawa Rough Riders. That's probably pretty confusing. Then, of course, he moved on to be offensive coordinator for New York, 2000-2002, and then moved on to the Dallas Bulls, who are now the Las Vegas Outlaws. So 2nd and 23, 2:44 to go here, first quarter. Back to the 3 wide receiver set for London. Back to pass. Looking. Completes it short to Diggs. He gets out to about the 15. Fuller brings him down. And it brings up 3rd and 20. Empty backfield again for London. Went so far 3 of 4 for just 2 yards. Back to pass over the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking for Pringle, but the ball knocked out by Wormley. Brings up 4th down. And punting time once again for London. O'Donnell back to punt. Erickson deep to return, standing near midfield. Toronto with a chance to get good field position here, but O'Donnell booms one here. Erickson's going to stay away from that one, and it's going to take a London bounce and finally stops dead at the Toronto 26. 1:48 to go here, first quarter. Toronto leads 6-0. Devontae Booker in at running back for Toronto. On 1st and 10, ball at the Toronto 26. Hand off to Booker, up the middle, gain of a couple. Finally brought down by Campbell at the Toronto 29. Gordon back into the game now. Hand off to Gordon, up the middle. Flag on the play, stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense, number 13, 10-yard penalty.
And the wide receiver, Erickson, gets caught for a hold there. And that'll move Toronto back to their own 19. So for second penalty on the night for Toronto. Just under a minute left to go here in the first quarter. Three wide receivers set in now for Toronto. Herbert back to pass, looking to go long. Oh, and he's dropped. Tomlinson with just the 4th sack of the year for London, and Tomlinson is hurt. He's going to have to be helped to the sideline. So during the twisting and turning there, he did something to his right knee. So he is being helped to the sideline. Clock stops with 51 seconds left on the injury. It'll bring up 3rd and 26 for Toronto. Booker the lone running back, 3 wide receivers set for Toronto. Draw play to Booker. He's to the 15. Campbell finally brings him down at about the 17. So 3 and out go Toronto for the first time today. And we're going to see Bailey for the first time in the punting formation. Jake Bailey will be back to punt and back to return. Mari Rogers back to return for London, standing at about his own 45. London's got an opportunity to finally get some good field position here. Good kick by Bailey. Good return by Rogers, finally taken down at the London 44. Clock stops with 1 second left to go here in the first quarter. But London has the ball near midfield, best starting field position of the night. Michael Carter into the game at running back for London. -1 yard in total offense for London so far. Hand off to Carter, off to the left side, reaches midfield, stopped after a gain of 6. Winfield Jr. with a tackle. That's it for the first quarter. Toronto leads it 6-0 as we move to quarter number 2. Our next Monday night game comes to you from Philadelphia. The Detroit Wheels, Philadelphia Bell. Have a lot of good intra-conference games coming up next week between the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. This is a good highlighted game. Philadelphia 4-1 going into next week. Philadelphia is in first place in the Metropolitan Division. Detroit vying for control of first place in the Central Division, along with Chicago. So they're at 3-2. So that'll be coming up. And then, of course, we're getting into college football. we've got a classic for you coming up later this week to celebrate the Army-Navy rivalry. We're going to have a classic matchup for you. The 1958 Army Black Knights, led by legendary coach Earl Red Blake, taking on the 1963 Navy Midshipmen, led by Roger the Dodger, Roger Staubach, the Heisman Trophy winning junior quarterback that year. So we're going to replay that game. Well, a what if you will, between the 1958 Army Black Knights and the 1963 Navy Midshipmen to kind of honor and celebrate our brave men and women. We're going to have a classic Army-Navy game coming up later this week, so make sure to sign up for when that game is broadcast live, or if you want to watch it streaming, you can do so. So that's coming up later this week. Don't forget to miss it. Let's take a look at our statistics from the first quarter, and if you're supporting London, you just got to be going, my God, what's going on? 5 yards of total offense, no first downs. And Toronto, you got to be thinking, look, London's held them to 2 field goals. Offense was moving, 86 yards in offense, and had the ball for over 12 minutes. So London's got to be thinking, look, we're just down a touchdown. We just got to get the offense rolling, which has kind of been the question so far in this young season. So we start quarter number 2. Ball is at midfield, 2nd and 4 for London. Wentz shifts to the pistol formation. 3 wide receivers set. Gaskin the lone running back. Wentz back to pass. Over the middle. Completes it to Pringle at the 40. Tackled by Josh Norman. And we do have an injured London player. Offensive lineman Pete is being helped to the sideline. So gain of 12. First down. The first down for London. As we start the second quarter, ball is into Toronto territory. First time London has accessed enemy territory tonight. Wentz stays in the pistol. Hands off to Gaskin. Off tackle right. Gets near the 35. Tackled by Gross Matos. They're going to mark him at the 36. Amongst their offensive struggles, London averaging just 13 points a game. Dead last in the league. 20 teams in the WFL, in case you're wondering. First time watching us. Carter in the game replaces Gaskin at running back. The give to Carter. Up the middle. He's past the 35. Spun down by Lawrence at the 34. Brings up 3rd and 6. Credit a good punt return by London special teams. 3rd and 6. Need to get to the Toronto 28 for the first down. Four wide receiver set. Wentz back in the pistol, back to pass. Fires near side. Pringle. Pringle has the first down. Tackled by Howard at the Toronto 23. Pringle on the night so far. 2 catches for 23 yards. Both of them coming on this drive. 1st and 10 for London. Gaskin back in at running back. Wentz moves back up under center. Handoff to Gaskin. Up the middle again. Gets near the 22-yard line. Stopped by Guy. A gain of 1. London trails 6-0 on their best drive so far of the evening. Wentz will move back to the gun. Back to pass. Under pressure. Dropped. Wormley with the sack. That's the 10th sack by Toronto's defense this season. And Sean Payton is just losing his mind over there. The lack of protection on that left side brings up 3rd and 16. Ball's at the Toronto 29. 12 minutes to go until halftime. That left side just porous, deep, porous offensive blocking there. Empty backfield for London. And before play can get started, there's a penalty flag.
Ball start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 3rd down.
And Smith jumped a little early. He was the one that kind of contributed to that sack. Move it back 5 more yards. Ball's at the Toronto 34. Brings up 3rd and 21. Wentz from the pistol. Back to pass. Completes it to Diggs at the 30. Well short of the first down. Only a gain of 6. Tackled by Fuller. Brings up 4th and 15. And we will see Harrison Butker to do the kicking duties to get London on the scoreboard and cut Toronto's lead in half. Ball's at the Toronto 28. So this looks to be a 45-yard field goal attempt. Butker 6 of 9 this season in field goals. Snap, hold, kick looks good. They'll officially give him credit for a 46-yard field goal attempt. London on the scoreboard. They trail just by 3 to Toronto. 10:46 left to go here in quarter number 2. Duvernay back to receive the kickoff from Butker. And this one's going to go through the end zone. Both kickers booming some kicks tonight as that one goes out for a touchback. Justin Herbert brings out the Toronto offense. Three wide receivers set. Booker, the lone running back. Herbert mishandles the snap, and he's dropped for a loss. Phillips with the sack. Number 1 draft pick, Jalen Phillips, out of the University of Miami. And that pushes Toronto back to their own 22. Brings up 2nd and 13. Herbert from the gun. Back to pass. Has time. Incomplete. Herbert got hit by Crosby as he threw. Tried to dump it off to Knox, but it was incomplete. Brown goes to the sideline for some treatment. Brings up 3rd and 13. Empty backfield. Behind Herbert. 4 wide receiver set. Herbert, under pressure, gets it off to Brown at the 30. There's a fumble, and it looks like it's recovered by London, but it's going to be reviewed.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
And Sean Hockley says it is a fumble, and the fumble is recovered by London. So huge break for the Knights. We'll take a look at that one again on the replay. It's caught, and then, ball comes out. He got nailed by Brown. So Brown versus Brown there, and Brown won, if you're keeping score. So ball goes to the Knights. They get the ball at the Toronto 29. 9:50 left to go. And what a golden opportunity for the Knights here. Two tight ends set up for London. Back to pass. Wentz has time. Completes it to Schultz inside the 20. Tackled by Winfield. Gain of 12. 1st and 10. Don't look now, but London is on the move. Wentz back in the gun. Back to pass. Looking. Over the middle. Looking for Cobb. Incomplete. Howard closely guarding him there. Brings up 2nd and 10. Ball at the Toronto 17. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Wentz back in the pistol. Now it's the Statue of Liberty play. Diggs is going to take it from Wentz, and he gets stopped at the 15. So we'll watch that again on the replay. The old Statue of Liberty play. You'll see Diggs coming from the left side. Wentz goes back, has the ball on his hip there, and Diggs takes it away and does gain about 2 yards. So ball at the Toronto 15 brings up 3rd and 8. Have to give an A for effort to the offensive coordinator there. Three wide receiver set for London. Wentz back to pass. Under pressure. Tries to complete it to Cobb, but it's a bad pass. Tipped away by Surtain. 4th and 8. And out will come Butker again, this time to tie the game on a field goal. 32-yard attempt by Butker. Snap, hold, kick. Good. We got a tie game, folks. 8:16 left to go in the second quarter. Butker's 33-yard field goal attempt is good. London taking advantage of the turnover and getting points. Duvernay back to return it for Toronto. Monday Night Football, Canadian Thanksgiving edition. If you're just joining us, Toronto jumped out to a 6-0 lead, and London has come back, scored field goals on their successive drives. Kickoff goes out of the end zone. Toronto will start at their own 25. Herbert, 6 of 9 for 56 yards so far tonight. Gordon, the deep back. I almost said lone setback. Gordon gets the handoff, off tackle left. Tackled by Campbell after about a 3-yard gain. Gordon on the night, 7 carries, 24 yards. Thank you guys for joining us on our YouTube channel. We are the Replay Sports channel. You are watching a special Monday Night Football from Week 5 of the WFL, the World Football League. 2nd and 7. Devontae Booker in at running back. Toronto's been shuffling the running backs in and out most of the night. I formation. Herbert hands off the ball to Booker. Booker's going to get to the 30 and a little bit more, and just real close to that first down. Spun down by Leonard at the 34. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. We're halfway through the second quarter. First quarter belonged to Toronto. Second quarter so far has belonged to London. Need to pick up a yard here. Toronto brings in their big guys. The big uglies up front. The road graders. Gordon, the deep back. Moore will come in motion. Gordon gets the handoff. He's gonna be short. He didn't make it. Blasted by Leonard. No gain. And Toronto goes 3 and out. What has happened to Toronto here in the second quarter? So forced to punt. Bailey back to punt. Rogers will be the return man. He's standing at about his own 28-yard line. Bailey gets off a nice kick. And Rogers waves the fair catch signal at the London 14. Clock stops with 6 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Don't forget to stay with us at halftime. We're going to go over scores from week 4, give you a preview of week 5, and get some other special announcements for you. So make sure to stay tuned for that. 1st and 10, ball at the London 14. We'll see what London has up their sleeve here. 3 wide receivers set. 1 running back. Play action. Wentz back to pass under pressure. He's going to have to scramble for it. He gets to about the 20. Fumble. Ball on the ground loose, and it's covered by Toronto, but they're going to review it.
Upon further review, the runner was down by contact.
And London will get to retain possession. We got to take a look at that one again. And Toronto coach Ryan Dinwiddie, he is asking the nearby official for an explanation. He thought that was a fumble. So did about 50-something other thousand people here at BMO Field. They're saying Wentz was down before Winfield knocked the ball out and Gross Matos recovered. So London getting the breaks here in quarter number 2. So a gain of 6. So we reset here. Gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Carter comes into the game at running back. Wentz lines up in the pistol. 3 wide receiver set. Wentz back to pass. And ball's tipped at the line. I think he was going to check down to Carter. Incomplete, brings up 3rd and 4. On the night so far, Wentz 7 of 12 for just 43 yards. If you just joined us, London has started the year. They're 1 and 3. They have struggled offensively. They are dead last in a 20-team league in offense. Total offense, rushing, they rank 16th, passing. So they have had their struggles. 3rd and 4. Under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. We're all tied up at 6. Empty backfield for London. Wentz calls the signals, goes back to pass. Looking, has to fire underneath to Schultz. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. Winfield with the stop. No gain. Brings up 4th down. Toronto's defense makes a significant stop here late in the second quarter and forces London to punt. Pat O'Donnell back deep to punt. Erickson standing at about his own 43 to return. O'Donnell gets away a beauty. Erickson takes the ball at his own 23. Finally tackled at about the Toronto 33. So about a 10-yard return. 5:04 is the time left in the second quarter. We're knotted up at 6. A Metropolitan Division battle between the London Knights and the Toronto Hitmen. Just kind of give you a look at our division setup. First time, if you're your first time watching WFL, this is the Metropolitan Division. The Philadelphia Bell are at 4 and 1. Berlin are at 3 and 2. Toronto 2 and 2. New York 2 and 3. London 1 and 3. So a win tonight for Toronto that would put them in a tie for second place with the Berlin Thunder. And a win by London, then you'd have a 3-way tie for third place. So important game for whoever wins this game. We'll go over the other divisions and what happened earlier in the week when we get to halftime. 5:04 to go here, second quarter. Toronto has the ball at their own 33. Both teams with just 2 timeouts left. Devontae Booker in at running back. I formation behind Herbert. Hand off to Booker. He's going to go right side again. Gains a couple. They'll give him a pickup of 4. Tackled by Leonard at the 37. Booker, 6 carries for 23 yards tonight. 2nd and 6. Herbert pitches left to Booker. A rare run to the left side. And Booker stopped near the 40. We've got an injured player. Again, Jalen Phillips hurt again. He was hurt on that first series of the game. He's now heading back to the sideline, and that might do it for him. First round pick for London this year from the University of Miami. His night may be done. Clock stops with 4:18 left to play before halftime. Brings up 3rd and 2 for Toronto. Booker will be the lone running back. Herbert in the shotgun. 3 wide receiver set. Herbert back to pass. Fires. Oh, he almost completed that pass to Erickson. Erickson closely guarded there by Woods, the free safety. And it is 3 and out for the Hitmen. 4:13 left to go until halftime. Rogers awaiting Bailey's punt at his own 20. Bailey gets away a huge kick. Rogers is going to let that one roll. Takes a Toronto bounce and stops dead at the London 4-yard line. So London will start from their own 4 with just 4:07 left to go here in the first half. London will line up in the I formation. Gaskin the deep back. He'll get the ball. Goes to his left side. Gets to about the 10-yard line. Tackled by Kwiatkowski at the 10. Gain of 6 yards. Brings up 2nd and 4. Gaskin will stay in as the lone running back on 2nd down. Back to pass. Wentz looking over the middle for Diggs, but it's incomplete. Fuller closely guarding the wide receiver. That brings up 3rd and 4. We're tied at 6. Toronto got off to a great start, hitting 2 field goals in the first quarter. London has responded here in the second quarter. Empty backfield behind Wentz. Back to pass. Ball's deflected. He was trying to throw it to Cobb, but Surtain tips it away at the last moment. The Knights go 3 and out and are forced to punt. O'Donnell standing in the middle of his own end zone. Erickson with an opportunity to get a good return here. Takes it at his own 40.
Holding, receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
And there was a flag on the play, and as you heard referee Sean Hockley announce, holding on the return team, so that will back Toronto up to their own 32. 3:10 to go in the second quarter. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. Booker comes into the game at running back. I formation behind Herbert. Hand off to Booker. There was a blitz coming there from London. And Booker will lose a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. London was bringing the house on that one. Three wide receivers set. for Toronto. Back to pass. Under pressure, Herbert will be brought down. Campbell with the sack. And again, if you're just joining us coming into tonight's game, London's defense had only recorded 3 sacks on the season. They've had 2 so far tonight. And we have a stoppage in play. London's going to call a timeout. They stop the clock with 2:29 left to go. Brings up 3rd and 14. Ball at the Toronto 28. Herbert, back to pass. Short pass to Erickson at the 30, immediately tackled by Lewis. And London will call their 3rd and final timeout, stops the clock with 2:26. So Sean Payton not afraid to use those timeouts so he can make sure he has the maximum amount of time left for Carson Wentz and the Knights offense. So 4th and 11. Punting time for Bailey. Rodgers standing at about his own 30. Will have an opportunity to return. Catches the ball at the 15. Finally brought down at about the 26. Clock stops with 2:20 to go. So we have the 2-minute warning. London is out of timeouts. Toronto has 2 left. London will also receive the second half opening kickoff. Empty out the Carson Wentz empties out the backfield. Wentz calling out the signals. Back to pass. And it's picked off by Fuller. Fuller going to the races. And Kinder Fuller with his 2nd interception of the year. He finally brought down at the London 14. And we'll look at that play again. Kendall Fuller, great job of reading the route and watching the quarterback's eyes there. And there's definitely a miscommunication between Wentz and Diggs. Diggs was running an in, and Carson Wentz threw an out. And Fuller read that one perfectly. So turnover, advantage goes to Toronto. They had the ball at the London 14. Inside the red zone. And so far this year, Toronto offensively tied for first place in red zone percentage. They get in the red zone, they're going to score. London's defense, 8th in red zone defense. They're successful about 86% of the time. 2:16 to go before halftime. Toronto looking to regain the lead. I formation behind Herbert. Transfers the ball to Gordon. Gordon to the 15. Near the fumble. And London gets the ball. Oh my goodness. Wilson again. Johnny on the spot. Recovers the fumble. Gordon coughs up the ball. Toronto, golden opportunity to take the lead. But once again, fumbleitis has stricken Toronto, and London ends up with the ball. Clock stops with 2:10 left to go. London has the ball at their own 11. Wow. And Ryan Dinwiddie's just got to be shaking his head there. 2 turnovers in the first half, both of them on fumbles. Defending league champions, struggling a bit. Wentz drops back into the pistol, probably the last play before the 2-minute warning. Back to pass, throws underneath to Schultz, completes it at about the 13-yard line. And we have an injured player on the field for Toronto, so they will stop the clock. So 2:07 left. Clock stop for the injured player. Carter, the lone running back, into the game now. Wentz back to pass. Completes it to Diggs at the 23. He's got room to run. 30, 40, midfield, look out. 30, 20, one man to beat. He ain't going to catch him. Touchdown, London. Longest catch of the season for Stephon Diggs, 87 yards. And it is getting very quiet here in Toronto. Huge play of the game. One bad tackle, two bad tackles. And Diggs just dances his way into the end zone on an 87-yard touchdown. What a play. Blutker on for the extra point attempt. And the London Knights lead it 13-6 with 1:57 to go. We are at the 2-minute warning. Incredible play. Turn of events there for London. If you followed the pregame lines before tonight's game, Toronto was favored by 15 points heading into the game. That's how much faith and devotion Vegas had on London's side. Again, still have a whole nother half to play, but so far London is surprising the critics here. Duvernay back to receive the kick, but this one's going to sail out of the end zone. London also gets the second half kickoff to start the third quarter, so this should be really interesting. 2 timeouts left for Toronto. Herbert going to try to work the 2-minute offense here and come away with some points. Back to pass. Looking. Over the middle, completes it to Cole Beasley. He's got the first down, tackled by Murphy Bunting. First time we've called Beasley's name today, and they're going to have to hurry up. Herbert rushes them to the line. Ball at the Toronto 38. Herbert gets the play. Over the middle, completes it to Moore near midfield. Tackled by Peterson. He's going to be short of the first down. Herbert rushes him to the line. They have 2 timeouts. Want to try to save those. Back to pass. Oh, and he's sacked by Williams. Williams with the sack. That will force Toronto to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So, again, just to kind of get this straight here, London comes into the game having only sacked opposing quarterbacks 3 times in 4 games. Tonight, they have sacked Justin Herbert, the defending Pantheon Bowl MVP. They have sacked him 4 times tonight. So this has been a big coming out party for the London Knights. 3rd and 8. Ball at the Toronto 40 as we reset here. 1:13 to go. 1 timeout left for Toronto. Herbert calling out the signals. Back to pass. Has time. Flag on the play. And the ball's batted out in the line.
Mask. Defense. Number 59, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And face mask called on Williams. So it's 1st and 10. 68 seconds left to go. Herbert, 9 of 13, 82 yards so far tonight. Going for Brown underneath, but it's incomplete. He cannot hang on. Clock stops the 1:02. Remember when I was telling you near the end of the first quarter, London had like -1 yard? Well, get this. As of right now, near halftime, London has 147 yards of net offense to 126 for Toronto. What a turnaround. Toronto trailing 13-6. Herbert under pressure again, and he's blindsided by Gibson. 3rd and 18. 5th sack of the night. We're only in the first half. Toronto forced to use their last timeout. Incredible. 3rd and 18. Ball at the Toronto 37. They need to get to the London 45 for a first down. Herbert. Back to pass. Under pressure again. Gets the ball off. Looking for more, but it's incomplete. Brings up 4th down. And the punting unit will come out. Herbert jogs to the sidelines. And to say that the crowd here at BMO Field in Toronto are stunned would be an understatement. As Bailey prepares to punt it away to Rogers. Rogers standing at his own 25-yard line. Catches the ball at the 15. Finally caught at the London 21. So 50 seconds left. No timeouts for either team. London leads it by 7. They get the ball to start the third quarter. Carson Wentz is just going to kneel down and let the clock run out. And probably, yeah, we'll need to do it again here. And that will do it for the first half. Wow, what a surprising first half we've had so far. London leads at 13-6. They will receive the second half kickoff when we start the third quarter. Stay tuned. We got some great stuff for you coming up at halftime. So if you're just joining us, what a change of events. Toronto came out in the lead, 6-0. Zerline 2 field goals after 2 big long drives for Toronto, but then London began to come back. They did take advantage of some turnovers by Toronto. Then, of course, the big play of the game, Wentz's 87-yard touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs, puts us where we're at now. Wentz so far today, 10 of 18, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. Herbert, 9 of 15, 82 yards. Running game, of course, for London has not been much to write about. They've only attempted to run the ball 10 times. Toronto has run the ball a lot more. Time of possession, slight edge Toronto. They've had it for about 18 minutes. London, 11. Third down attempts, both sides struggling. London, 1 of 7. Toronto, 3 of 11 on third down. So, as we mentioned, we did have some interesting games in Week 4. Let's just take you around the league and go over some of those scores from Week 4. Or Week 5, I'm sorry, got the wrong week. Week 5. So first of all, we take you to New York. Chicago Fire defeats the Generals 14-7. Jerry Jeudy in that game. 8 receptions, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that game. In Tampa Bay, they had a shootout between the Aztecs and the Bandits. The Aztecs win their second game of the season by a score of 42-39. Matthew Stafford on the day, 32 of 44, 514 passing yards, and 6 touchdowns in that game. Tom Brady, 37 of 55, 466 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that one. Over in Memphis, the Washington Federals get their first win of the season. They edge out the Memphis Express 29-27. Bourne 6 receptions, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that game. Gibson also had a great day running the ball, 34 carries, 138 yards. That stops a 2-game win streak by the Memphis Express. Over in Orlando, the Americans defeat the Apollos 16-7. Allen on the day in a losing effort, 27 of 44, 240 yards, a touchdown. Also ran the ball 9 times for 64 yards. In Denver, Los Angeles Wildcats defeat the Gold by a score of 20-13. Alexander came up big defensively, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and 5 tackles. In Houston, it was the San Antonio Commanders winning 23-19. Perryman, 2 forced fumbles and 6 tackles in that one. Over in St. Louis, Battle of Central Division rivals, both starting the day at 2-2. Detroit wins on a last-second Justin Tucker 53-yard field goal as time expired, ending a 2-game losing streak. They defeat the St. Louis Stars by a score of 26-23. Aaron Rodgers on the day, 27 of 41, 247 yards, and a touchdown. Earlier in the day, in Berlin, Germany, the Thunder give the Philadelphia Bell their first defeat of the season, defeating the Bell 35-20. Dalvin Cook, 19 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, also had 5 receptions for 48 yards. And in Las Vegas, the Outlaws remain undefeated. They edge the Arizona Wranglers by a score of 15-6. Dedrick Ward, an interception returned for a touchdown, a forced fumble, and 5 tackles on the day. So we take a look at the standings as we approach the end, or near the end, of Week 5. We talked about the Metropolitan Division earlier. Philadelphia was one of 2 undefeated teams coming into Week 5. They have now lost their first game, but they are still top of the leaderboard in the Metropolitan Division. Over in the Southern Division, you got a 2-way tie between the Birmingham Americans and the Tampa Bay Bandits for first place. Orlando and Memphis are just 1 game back. Central Division, Detroit, who we're going to see next week on Monday Night Football, they are tied with Chicago for the lead in the Central Division. San Antonio, Houston, and St. Louis are all just 1 game back. And in the Pacific Division, the Las Vegas Outlaws, the only undefeated team in the WFL, 5-0. They lead Los Angeles by 1 game, 4-1, and then they have a 3-game lead over Mexico City and Arizona. And setting us up for next week, again, some interconference games to look forward to in Week 6. Denver at Orlando, 2 struggling teams trying to get off the schneid, as they say. Mexico City at Birmingham. An intriguing one on Sunday will be Los Angeles at Tampa Bay. Arizona at Washington. Las Vegas travels to Memphis. Berlin will be at St. Louis. These London Knights will travel to Houston after they finish tonight. New York will go to San Antonio. The Toronto Hitmen are playing tonight. They will go to the Windy City and play the Chicago Fire. And again, our Monday night game next week pits the Detroit Wheels and the Philadelphia Bell. First time we've seen the Philadelphia Bell this season in Monday Night Football. So again, our score at halftime are the Knights 13, the Hitmen 6. Teams are back out to start the third quarter. Pringle is back to receive. And Zerline's kickoff goes through the end zone for a touchback. I don't think we've had a kick return tonight by either team. So London started slowly, but second quarter was a good one to them. 13 unanswered points. They lead 13-6. Carter in the game at running back. He'll carry the ball in the quarter's first play. Stop near the line of scrimmage. Gross Matos Tackle at the 24. Brings up 2nd and 11. Wentz back into the pistol. There's a flag on the play, though.
Start. Offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
And there's movement on the offensive line, and that's going to be on the left tackle, Tyron Smith. They're going to move it back 5 yards. London has been penalized 4 times for 25 yards. Toronto 3 times for 25 yards. Gaskin back into the game at running back. Back to pass. Screen to Gaskin. Finally hit out of bounds by Kwiatkowski at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Brings up 3rd and 16. Both teams struggling on 3rd down tonight. So far, London just 1 of 7 on 3rd down. Empty backfield behind Wentz. Wentz back to pass. Under pressure. Gets it off to Cobb near the 28-yard line. He's going to be well shy of the first down. Brought down by Surtain. Brings up 4th and 7. And London will be forced to punt. Erickson standing at his own 35. A good kick by O'Donnell. Erickson fields it at his own 18. Finally stopped at the Toronto 32. 12:54 to go. "39th time these two teams have met. Toronto leads the series 21-17. They won both meetings last season. Justin Herbert brings the Toronto offense out. They are in all black uniforms, black jerseys, black pants, black helmets, white numerals, blue trim. Gordon will be the lone running back. Had some problems fumbling the ball in the first half. He catches the screen pass. He's got a gainer here. He's to the 40, to midfield. Finally spun down by Campbell inside London territory. He'll be stopped at the London 47. So Gordon trying to make amends here with a great catch. First and 10. I formation behind Herbert. Hand off to Gordon. He's going to go right side. Pushes his way to about the 44. Stopped by Bell. It's a gain of 3 yards. Gordon on the night. 10 carries, 30 yards. 2 catches for 22 yards. Brings up 2nd and 7. Booker's going to come in for him at running back. Herbert back to pass. Quick out to Brown at the 35. Tackled by Brown. At the London 35, 11:20 to go. Ryan Dinwiddie said at halftime they need to do a better job of protecting Herbert. I formation behind Herbert. Penalty flag before we get started here.
Defense. Number 98, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
And the defensive end, Max Crosby, jumped over the line there. Free 5 yards for Toronto. Brings up 1st and 5 at the London 30. Booker in at running back. Herbert under center. Play action. Looking to throw. Completes it to Moore near the 26. Peterson with a tackle. Brings up 2nd and 1. 10.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. London surprisingly leading 13-6. Heavy package in for Toronto. Gordon, the deep back. Gordon don't get the handoff. Near the yard to gain for the first down. He's taken down by Crosby, and he picks up the first down. First down for Toronto. Ball will be placed at the London 22. Booker will come in as the lone running back. Play action. Herbert's going to roll out. Surveys the field. Tries to check down to Booker, but it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. Herbert shifts to the gun. Under pressure, safety blitz. Moore gets off in time to Moore at the 10. Peterson drops him there. 1st and goal, Toronto. Ball will be placed at the London 8-yard line. Lewis was coming in on that safety blitz. Herbert picked it up in time and got rid of the ball. First and goal. Ball at the London 8. Herbert. Reverse to Moore. Moore to the right. He's inside the 10. No gain. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. They tried the reverse play, but London's defense was not fooled. Brings up 2nd and goal. Three wide receivers set for Toronto. Back to pass. Completes it to Moore. Touchdown. Herbert with time. Throws it over the middle. DJ Moore with the catch. And we're a point after attempt away from tying the game up at 13. Zerline's kick is good. So 9-play, 68-yard drive, taking up just over 5 minutes. Herbert, 8-yard pass to Moore. Makes it 13 all here from BMO Field. 55 degrees here tonight. Clear, very little wind. Great crowd here on the 10th of October, which is Canadian Thanksgiving. Yes, they do celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada. They celebrate it a month before their neighbors to the south of the border here in the United States. Pringle back to return. And again, as previously, the kickoff goes through the end zone for a touchback. 7.5 minutes to go, third quarter. London will start at their own 25. Gaskin, the lone running back. And before he gets started,
offense, number 86, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And false start on the tight end. Dalton Schultz will move him back 5 yards. Penalties. A problem for London tonight. They came into the game ranked 16th, so not one of the more penalized teams. Neither is Toronto. Carter checks into the game at running back. Wentz moves to the pistol. to pass. Plenty of time to throw. Incomplete. Looking for Cobb, but he is well guarded by his defender. Brings up 2nd and 15. Gaskin back in the game at running back. Wentz. Screen to Gaskin. Gets out to about the 24. Pulled down by Miller. They'll bring up 3rd and 11. They'll go to an empty backfield here on 3rd down. Need to reach the London 35 for the first down. Wentz goes back to pass. Fires underneath to Diggs, complete. He's got the first down, tackled by Fuller. Diggs, 107 receiving yards today, 4 receptions and a touchdown. Picks up the first down at the London 35. 6:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tied up at 13. Twelve personnel in for London. 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Wentz goes back to pass. Under pressure, he's going to be forced to run. Stopped at about the 41 by Miller. Gain of 6. Carter checks into the game at running back. 3 wide receivers set. Wentz in the shotgun. 2nd and 4. Wentz back to pass. Looking. Throws incomplete. Carter and Miller were both fighting for the ball there. Miller thought he had it. Had an interception, but it falls to the ground. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 4. They'll go 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end here on 3rd and 4. Wentz. Short pass intended for Diggs. Incomplete. And Gross Matos is going to have to go to the sideline for Toronto. He's clenching that left hamstring. Definitely in a bit of pain there. Clock stops at 5:24, brings up 4th down. London will punt. O'Donnell looking to go coffin corner here and pin Toronto inside their own 20. Erickson back to receive, standing at about his own 20. Erickson's going to get a return out of this. Finally brought down at the Toronto 35. Clock stops with 5:19 to go in the 3rd quarter. London playing a lot better than most people. Started the week in last place in the Metropolitan Division. On a 2-game losing streak. Booker in at running back. They'll start at the Toronto 35. Herbert back to pass. Flag on the play. And the ball's incomplete.
Encroachment defense. Number 98.
And they get Crosby
5-yard
again
penalty.
for encroachment. He's trying to guess that snap count. So another free 5 yards for Toronto. Ball will be placed at the Toronto 40. About 5 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. I formation behind Herbert. Gordon off tackle right. He's to about the 38. I'm sorry, the 43. And we've got an injured London Knight, and that's Joey Bosa. Bosa heading to the sideline. Former #1 pick by the London Knights. Cornerstone that the Knights, want to build their defense around, and that's not a good sign. As he throws his helmet down into the bench area in disgust and holding on to that left knee. So he'll be attended to. Clock stops with 5 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. 2nd and 2 for Toronto. Pitches right to Gordon, looking for a hole. Hit in the backfield by Leonard. London's kind of figured out this running to the right side thing, and Gordon is nailed for a 4-yard loss. Brings up 3rd and 6. Four wide receivers come out for Toronto. Herbert back to pass, looking long, fires to Erickson at the London 40. Tackled by Peterson at the London 33. A gain of 28 yards. I've got to take a look at that one again. Perfect protection by the offensive line. And Herbert makes the connection to Erickson on the big gain. 1st and 10, ball at the London 33. Herbert changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He's going to go back to pass. He's going to go long to Moore. Flag on the play. Moore drops the ball.
Holding. Offense, number 67, 10-yard penalty.
And holding call on the right guard, Spain. Right guard, Spain, moves him back to the London 43. Clock stops with 3:34 left to go. Gordon, the lone running back, 2 tight end formation. Counter Trey goes to his right. Near the 40, Crosby with the tackle. Gain of about 3 yards. Booker will come into the game at running back. Back to pass. Completes it to Moore at the 35. He's to the 30, 25, 20. Finally knocked out of bounds by Adams near the 10-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 11. DJ Moore, 29-yard reception. On the night, DJ has caught 8 catches for 99 yards. Toronto inside the red zone with 3:20 left to go in the third quarter, looking to regain the lead. Booker, the lone running back. Herbert back to pass. Has time. Looking for Moore again, and the ball's knocked loose. Peterson. Johnny on the spot there. Denies Moore the touchdown. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. Booker in the game at running back. They'll move to an I formation. Tomlinson's the H-back. The give to Booker. Right side. Inside the 10. To the 5. To the 1. And they're going to give him the first down. He does have the first down. It is 1st and goal for Toronto at the London 1-yard line. Toronto bringing in the big boys here. On 1st and goal. Gordon, the deep running back, has 6 rushing touchdowns on the year heading into tonight's game, and he adds another one. Touchdown, Hitmen. Very reminiscent of the Frank Gore touchdown that won him the championship in the Pantheon Bowl last season. Frank Gore, of course, honored at halftime, put his name put in the Ring of Honor. Longtime veteran, retired after the Pantheon Bowl, and again, just kind of shades of Frank Gore rumbling into the end zone that helped Toronto win their first Pantheon Bowl last January. Zerline on to kick the extra point to make it 20-13. 1:45 left to go here in the third quarter. Good drive by Toronto. 9 plays, 65 yards, 334. Gordon gets his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. He leads the league in rushing touchdowns. Pringle is back to return for London. And we got another deep kickoff that sails through the end zone for a touchback. Wentz brings the offense to the line. The give to Gaskin. They're going to fake the reverse. Gaskin's going to keep the ball. He gets to about the 30, gain of 5 yards. London in their visiting uniforms, white jerseys, silver pants, silver helmets, black numerals. They move left to right across your screen. Second and 5 from the London 30. Wentz back to pass. Throws underneath the Gaskin. Near the first down, he'll be stopped by Miller at the 33. Brings up 3rd and 2. 62 seconds left here in the third quarter. And London will bring in their heavy package. Gaskin the deep back. Man in motion. The give to Gaskin. Got a hole. First down and more. 45 near midfield. Finally tackled by Amos at the London 48. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. Toronto regains the lead. They lead at 20-13 as we head into the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. This one's not over yet. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, college football bowl season's coming up. So our next football broadcast will be the Army-Navy, the traditional Army-Navy game coming up later this week in real life. But we now have classic college football for you. So we're gonna kick our college football bowl season or football off with a classic, the 1958 Army Black Knights taking on the 1963 Navy Midshipmen. So got a lot of interesting stuff for you there, so make sure to check that out. And that's just the beginning of our college football package. We're going to have some New Year's Day games for you. So we've got some classic bowl season coming up. Sun Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl is going to feature USC, the 1967 Trojans, versus the 1968 Buckeyes. And of course, ended up with the Orange Bowl, Oklahoma versus Tennessee. And interesting one, that Cotton Bowl, Alabama versus Texas A&M, those are two Bear Bryant coach teams. You're going to have a younger Bear Bryant coaching against an older Bear Bryant. So if you haven't subscribed to Replay Sports Channel on YouTube, please do. We're going to have some great classic college football games coming up for you, as well as our other action, WFL, our Major League Baseball 1967 replay. We just have two weeks left in the regular season. We're going to be playing World Series pretty soon, so a lot of great stuff coming up. Make sure to subscribe and watch. And we head into the new year. Hard to believe we're in December as we're taping this, but a lot of cool stuff planned for next year. Got some irons in the fire, as they say. Again, I'm Glenn Walker. Thank you so much for joining us. So we head into quarter number 4. Toronto, the defending league champions, lead at 20-13, but London has the ball. They're at their own 48. trying to tie the game here. Carter, the lone running back as we start quarter number 4. Play action. Wentz back to pass. Throws underneath to Everett near midfield. Winfield with a tackle. Ball be placed at the London 49. So just a yard gained. Brings up 2nd and 9. Gaskin back in the game at running back. Wentz from the gun, back to pass. Has time over the middle looking for Pringle, but he was double covered. So throwing into a double coverage there. Wentz on the night, 16 of 28, 160 yards, and the 1 interception. 3rd and 9. They'll empty out the backfield on 3rd down. Back to pass. Wentz under pressure, and he is sacked by Guy. Lawrence Guy, huge sack, nowhere to go, and it brings up 4th and 22. Just the 2nd sack of the night by that Toronto defense. Huge play to start the 4th quarter and get the London offense off the field. O'Donnell back into punt. Erickson standing at about his own 26. O'Donnell gets away a good punt. Erickson takes it at his own 15. And not a lot of running room. He's finally stopped at about the Toronto 23. 13:26 left to go in this one. Toronto leads 20-13. I formation behind Herbert. Herbert calling out the signals. Handoff to Gordon. He's to the 25, near the 29. Tackled by Key at the 30, gain of 7 yards. Gordon on the night, 16 carries, 44 yards. Has a touchdown on the last drive, 2 catches for 22 yards. He'll stay in the game as running back. They'll switch to a 2 tight end formation on 2nd and 3. Pressure. Caught, fumble, and London comes up with the ball. Oh my goodness, Gordon has fumbled the ball again, and London gets to take advantage of it. That was just a bang play there. There was a screen pass to Gordon. And he loses the ball, and Leonard comes up with it. I'm sorry, Jackson comes up with it. I think Leonard was the one who provided the hit. But another fumble by Gordon. He's going to have to find some place on the bench there where he can just be in the witness protection program or something. So London gets the ball at the Toronto 30, 12:38 to go. Still early in the 4th quarter. They got an opportunity to tie the game here. Gaskin in at running back. Wentz under center, calling the signals. Play action, back to pass. Over the middle to Diggs, complete at the 15. He's to the 10. Finally stopped by Fuller at the 6-yard line, a 24-yard gain. 1st and goal, London. And turnovers have hurt both teams tonight. As we look at the replay again, Stephon Diggs putting London into 1st and goal. Give to Gaskin. Off tackle right. He's met at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Lawrence. No gain. Brings up 2nd and goal. Wentz will move to the gun here on 2nd and goal. London looking to tie the game at 20. Back to pass. Fires over the middle for Diggs. Incomplete. He thought he was interfered with. He's looking for a flag, and he's not going to get one. Fuller closely guarding him there. And the officials say no PI there. Diggs is still mad about it as he comes back to the huddle. 3rd and goal. Toronto defensive players trying to get the fans in that section of the stadium to start making some noise. Defense, defense as they're chanting. Wentz will set up in the pistol. 3 wide receiver set. Back to pass. Wentz under pressure, and he's down. Gross Matos with the sack. Defense comes through for Toronto, and they're going to force London to kick the field goal here. Just great pressure up the middle there by Gross Matos. And wraps him up and just brings him down. So on comes Harrison Butker for his 3rd field goal of the night. Good snap, hold, and a 31-yard
defense, 5-yard penalty.
So there is a penalty on the play. And they're talking to Coach Sean Payton. He's going to go ahead and accept the penalty. Oh, this is interesting. So they're going to take the field goal off. They're going to take the field goal off the scoreboard. Sean Payton's going to send his offense back out there. So on 4th and goal, ball's at the 8-yard line. 10:28 to go. Sean Payton's going to roll the dice here. He's going to try to go for the tie here. Wentz from the gun. Crowd making some noise again. Back to pass. Flag on the play. Pass is incomplete.
Holding offense. Number 77, 10-yard penalty.
So they turn the ball over on down. So the gamble fails for Sean Payton. Toronto gets the ball back at their own 8-yard line. 10:25 to go here in the 4th quarter. Hitmen lead by 7. Gordon back in at the game at running back. He has had his problems fumbling the ball today. He gets the handoff, though. He's to the 10. Finally stopped by Crosby at the 13. Brings up 2nd and 5. Toronto has turned the ball over 4 times tonight. "12 personnel in for Toronto here on 2nd and 5. Herbert back to pass. Throws short to Knox. Knox to the 15, tackled by Adams. Gain of 3 brings up 3rd and 2. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Toronto empties out the backfield on 3rd and short. Back to pass. Quick out to Moore near the 20. He's got the first down. Peterson again on the tackle. 9th catch of the night for Moore. 9 catches, 103 yards, 1 touchdown. In the running for MVP of the game, which we'll announce shortly after the completion of the game. Clock continues to roll for Toronto. Booker into the game at running back. Handoff to Booker, off tackle left. Gets to about the 20. Campbell stops him at the 21. Gain of 1 yard, brings up 2nd and 9. Toronto travels to Chicago next week to take on the Fire. And London goes to Houston. Short week and going on the road. Hand off to Gordon. He's going to be stopped by Crosby in the backfield. Loses 2 yards. Brings up 3rd and 11. We're nearing the halfway point of the 4th quarter. The Knights need to get a stop here. Empty backfield for Toronto. Herbert calling out the signals. Back to pass. Time. Throws. Beasley first down and a little more. Finally brought down by Brown at the Toronto 41. Biggest catch of the season for Cole Beasley. 22 yards. And it is a big one. They get to move the chains. They get to keep the ball. We'll take a look at that one again. Best protection Herbert has had all night. And a great pass over to Beasley. Just the second completion to Beasley tonight. Gordon back in the game at running back. Play action. Completes it to Moore near side. We'll gain a couple. That's his 10th catch of the night. Brings up 2nd and 7. Nearing the 6-minute mark. Booker into the game now at running back. From the gun, Herbert. Timed the pass. Throws underneath to Knox. He's near midfield, tackled by Adams. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3. Four wide receiver set for Toronto. Penalty flags fly before you can snap the ball.
Defense.
Oh,
5-yard penalty.
and that's going to be automatic first down. Key is called for neutral zone infraction. And it's an automatic first down. Oh my goodness. 8th penalty of the night for London. And that one hurts. That one hurts. Gordon, the deep back for Toronto as they try to whittle some more clock down here. He'll get the handoff. He's to the 40. First down. Tackled at the 34 by Leonard. A gain of 13 yards. 19 carries, 60 yards on the night for Gordon. London needs a stop. They need another turnover here. Booker into the game at running back. Toronto, not in a hurry to run the play here. Letting the clock run down. Hand off to Booker, off tackle right. Gets about a yard. Darius Leonard with his 10th tackle of the night. Clock's moving down to about 4 minutes to go. 2nd and 9. Booker, the lone running back now on 2nd and long. Herbert from the shotgun. Back to pass. Has time. Throws over the middle. Peterson on the coverage. Incomplete. Stops the clock with 3:30. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left to them. Third and 9 from the London 33. Draw play to Booker. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. That will be it. So it brings up 4th down, and they are within Zerline's range, but I think they're going to run some time here. So Dinwiddie's standing over there with one of the officials, and he's going to run it all the way down, stop the clock with 2:47 left. So Toronto will use a timeout here and set up Zerline, who will be kicking from about 50 yards out. He has made one from 51 and 50 earlier tonight. Good snap. Hold is good. It's on its way. And Toronto now has a 10-point lead with 2.5 minutes left to go in the game. Thirteen-play drive, 59 yards, took up 7.5 minutes. A backbreaker for London, who they were in this game starting from the second quarter. They were in this game, and that call on 4th and goal, I'm sure Coach Payton will be asked about that in the post game. And another touchback. Ball's at the London 25. 2.5 to go here. Fourth quarter. London has their work cut out for them. They trail by 10. Wentz changing the call. Draw play to Gaskin. He's to about the 29. There's a flag on the play.
Holding offense number 86.
And they're backing London up. Dalton Schultz gets called for holding. 9th penalty of the night for London. And head coach Sean Payton's just shaking his head. Like, what can you do? Brings up 1st and 20. Clock stops with 2.5 minutes to go. Wentz back to pass. Has time, completes it to Diggs at about the line of scrimmage, and that is it. We have an injured Toronto defensive player, so that will stop the clock with 2:23 to go. Fuller, great coverage there for Toronto. 2nd and 20. Wentz, 18 of 32, 184 yards tonight. Completes it to Cobb, far side. He's going to try to get out of bounds at the London 22. It brings up 3rd and 13. Clock stops with 2:18 to go. Third and 13. They need to get to the 35-yard line for the first down. 4 wide receiver set for London. There's another penalty flag before we can call the play, though.
Defense, number 97, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
But it's on the defense this time. Gross Matos gives them 5 yards. Brings up 3rd and 8. From the gun, Wentz with time. Throws underneath to Schultz. Gains about 2 yards before he's stopped by Winfield. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. It's 4th and 6, down by 10. The Knights have no other recourse but to go for it here on 4th down inside their own territory. So this could be the last throw of the dice for London. Wentz calling the play. Back to pass. Has time. Looking. Completes it to Diggs. And he's going to be tacked immediately by Fuller. Does not get the first down. That's it. Toronto gets the ball. Still plenty of time, and London, we're going to use their timeouts here, it looks like, to try to stop the clock. Booker will get the handoff. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage. And London uses the first of the 3 timeouts. Clock stops at 1:49. Just a reminder, next Monday night game will be Detroit at Philadelphia. Detroit at Philadelphia will be our next WFL game. Booker will stay in at running back. He's carried the ball 13 times for 38 yards. Off tackle right, gets to about the 30, or it's 28. Make that the 26 on the second effort. Gain of 7. Campbell, his 10th tackle of the night. London uses their second timeout, stops the clock with 1:40. 3rd and 3 for Toronto. Booker up the middle, stopped at about the 25. Leonard with the stop. Gain of 1. And London's going to let the clock run. They're going to try to save a timeout here. And Toronto's going to milk the clock all the way down to 55 seconds, and then they'll call timeout. So timeout called by Ryan Dinwiddie. 55 seconds left. And we'll see Greg Zuerlein again. Another field goal attempt for Greg Zuerlein. 42-yard field goal attempt this time to put the score out of reach for London. And it is good. 43-yard field goal by Zuerlein's good. Toronto leads at 26-13. 50 seconds left. And I think that's going to be about it for London, as they will take their 3rd consecutive loss. Squib kick by Zuerlein. And London will get it at about their 34. And it looks like London's just going to say, okay. And Wentz is just going to kneel down. And that's going to do it here from Toronto. Final score from BMO Field. Happy Thanksgiving here in Canada. Toronto wins it 26-13. Take a look at your player of the game. And what do you know? Kickers are people too. Greg Zuerlein, with his 4 field goals, is named player of the game. So congratulations to Greg Zuerlein on the night for getting player of the game honors. There's some of the other statistical leaders. DJ Moore had a great night, 10 catches for 106 yards as well. So London drops to 1-4. Toronto improves to 3-2. Again, I'm Glenn Walker. Thank you so much for watching this special feature presentation of the World Football League on the Replay Sports Channel. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.